I'm here today to do the second video review in my Cinda Williams Chima reread. This month I wound up reading The Wizard Heir by Cinda Williams Chima, which is the second book in the Heir series. This is a reread for me. I read this book a long time ago. I think I probably was in like high school or early college, undergrad when I first read this, but I really love this book. I still love it to this day. I think Steph remains my first book boyfriend, maybe after Ron from Harry Potter. These two were the two that I really, really adored. And this book was super interesting because I really went into it just knowing I love Steph a lot, and the mysteries were still surprising because I forgot so much. So due to some people asking in the comments and on my blog, I'm going to split this video, and I'm going to do the first couple of minutes is going to be non-spoiler, and the last couple of minutes are going to be spoiler because some people wanted my spoiler thoughts on the series, and then that's what I'm going to do. My blog review will be all non-spoiler free, but someone did ask for me to talk spoilers. But overall, I thought this was a great continuing to the story. I know that this is technically labeled as a companion book, but I definitely think you need to read these books in order because there is a continual story, at least in the first three. I don't know about the other two. I haven't read those yet, but I know that you should definitely read these books in order. This was a very big there was a lot of psychological stuff going on in this because the way that the wizardry was enacted, but I really like Seth as lead character. Again, he was so strong, and he goes through a lot in this book. This book is just about 450 pages, but a lot happens. And I think you can almost classify this as like a part 1 and a part 2 because there's definitely a part 1 of this book and there's definitely a part 2. I really did enjoy both parts of it, and I will say this, like in this section too, when I was younger reading these books, I really read only books with male leads or male protagonists. I didn't read a lot of books that had female leads just because not a lot existed, but I'm noticing so much how she writes her female characters, and there's so many female characters in these books that I love, and I'm hopeful and curious to see if she actually writes female leads in the future. You get some moments where you see from their POV because there's a bunch of point of views, but Steph is definitely the lead in this, and Jack was the lead in the other one. But yeah, overall, I really, really liked it, and I was really impressed. The mystery, I kind of got clued into the mystery, like, midway through, I, remembered, but it was so well done. The world building was spectacular, and I really recommend that if you have not read this series, you check it out. It came out a while ago, but I said this, I think, in my first video and definitely in my blog posts. This is a great basics fantasy series for anyone. If fantasy is not your genre, this is such an easy series to dive into. I would almost call this like an urban fantasy series because it's definitely in our world. But I really, really enjoyed it. Now let's talk spoilers. So if you have not read this book and plan on reading it soon, X out of this, and I'll talk to you guys for Dragon Heir next month. But I really love this book a lot, and talking spoilers, I could not remember who Steph's parents were throughout this entire book, and it was like midway through when I realized, oh, obviously, it is Lender and Linda. And I was like, oh my god, I forgot. So about right before she said, I was like, oh, I remember. So I really don't remember what happens in book 3. I do know that Jason is the lead in that, which I forgot totally about Jason. The reveal that he was actually alive at the end of the book was actually like a shock to me. I was like, oh my god, he's alive! The beginning part of this book, I did recall a lot more than the end part because, you know, he's in the school and then he goes home or goes back to Jack and he meets Jack. And I love Jack and Seth as, like, you know, relationships because I thought it's super interesting. But yeah, overall, I really liked it, and I was happy that the mystery still held up. This is definitely my favorite book in this series. I'm really excited to read Dragon Heir next month and then to complete the other 2 books in the series. But yeah, those are my spoiler and non-spoiler thoughts about the Wizard Heir series. Let me know in the comments what are some of your thoughts if you've picked up this series before or if you plan on in the future. And I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!